What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We got a lot going on here right now. North Korea is vowing offensive nuclear expansion. This comes just days after they warned Americans over basically a nuclear warning against America. We'll go over that here in this video. Also, I'll let you hear directly from the White House about the leaked classified documents over Ukraine, Iran, and China, and how the White House is going to try to prevent this. Remember, this is basically high treason at the highest level. The White House is very concerned about this. We got a lot going on here right now as the government and the White House has really just completely got their hands full. Yeah, you could see here North Korean leader Kim Jong-un vows offensive nuclear expansion. Yeah, Kim Jong-un vowed to enhance his nuclear arsenal in a more practical and offensive ways as he met with his senior military officials to discuss the country's war preparations. War preparations in face of his rivals' frantic military exercises, state media said today. By the way, his rivals are the United States and South Korea, just in case you're wondering. Yeah, the meeting of the ruling Workers' Party's Central Military Commission on Monday came amid heightened tensions at the pace of both North Korea's weapons demonstrations and the U.S. South Korean joint military drills have intensified in the recent weeks of these war drills. North Korea's official Korean Central News Agency says the commission's members discuss unspecified issues related to strengthening defense capacities and perfecting war preparations to counter the threat posed by allies' drills, which the North portrays as invasion rehearsals. And you could see here, North Korea has been threatening the United States over and over. North Korea threatens overwhelming nuclear force in response to U.S. military exercises. And you can see here, North Korea threatens action after U.S. flies nuclear-capable B-52 bomber over the Korean peninsula. Yeah, so to say we have our hands full right now is an understatement, especially with this leak out of the Department of Defense right now, which is an absolute catastrophe for our country, basically coming from somewhere of the highest level here. Here's what the White House had to say here, actually, within the last 24 hours. Take a listen here.
Thank you, Kareem, and thank you, Kirby. In light of the classified documents, I wonder if you could tell us when was the last time the protocol to grant security clearances was updated or revised in the government, and in light of the leaks, does the president believe you should take another look at that?
I think the Department of Defense has already started to take a look at distribution, for instance, at the Pentagon. I'll let them speak to that. I don't know the answer to your question on protocols for who is or who is not granted security clearances. There is already in place and remains in place a very diligent, deliberate effort to manage security clearances, and sometimes we get knocked because it takes a little too long for people's clearances to get approved because the process is so careful and deliberate. I think to your question, I think we just need to be careful right now speculating or guessing what might be behind or who might be behind what looks like a potential leak here of classified information. So we need to let the process sort of bear itself out.
So are you saying there's a question over whether this was a leak by someone who had access to the materials?
I'm saying we don't know, which is why I'm going to, I think you're getting to remedies, and I understand that. We're only a couple of days into this. We need to let the Department of Justice do their job, investigate this, see what they learn. Now, again, that said, the Department of Defense has already said that they're taking a look at distribution and looking if there's changes they need to make administratively there at the Pentagon, since it appears that they have the locus of most of the documents. But again, before we start making major muscle movements, we really need to know what we got here and have a better sense from the Justice Department.
Just a couple of quick follow-ups. Do you have a sense of the number of people who would have had access to these documents apparently prepared for the joint staff?
I do
Is
not.
it hundreds, thousands?
I do not. I'd refer you to the Defense Department.
And then, given this leak and previous leaks, should the American people think that the administration is losing the battle against whoever wants to steal our secrets, whether it's foreign adversaries or hackers or whomever?
I think the American people need to know and deserve to know that we're taking this very, very seriously. The president has been briefed on this. He will stay briefed on this. The Department of Defense is looking into this. They are leading an interagency effort here to review whatever national security implications might come out of all this. And the Department of Justice is leading a criminal investigation. So we're taking this very, very seriously. There is no excuse for these kinds of documents to be in the public domain. They don't deserve to be in the public domain. They deserve to be protected. So we're going to get to the bottom of this, and then if there's actions that need to be taken as we learn more about the extent of what happened here, we'll obviously take those.
Are there plans for President Biden to speak with President Zelensky over the leak, or is the White House offering any kind of reassurance to Ukrainian officials about the safety of some of their most sensitive information?
U.S. officials have been in touch with relevant allies and partners over the last couple of days at very high levels, and I'll leave it at that.
And can you speak to not just the potential leak here, but what appears to be some doctoring of the information? Is this something where it's possible that there may have been a leak, but then a different actor came in, manipulated the information, and posted it online? What's the working theory in terms of the actual altering of this information?
I don't know that we've arrived at a working theory. It does appear that at least in some cases, the information posted online had been altered from what we think would be the original source. But there's just no way I could tell you with any granularity right now how that came to be. We're diving into this as strenuously as we can to try to understand that. And in keeping with your point, I mean, we urge all of you to be very careful about how you report on this story.
The problem with this is that it's going to be very hard to tell what's doctored and what's not, especially when it's just a document and all you really need to do is go into Photoshop. If it's just a number, you go in, you just white out the number, and you just take the same font and just put in a new number, and it's that easy. So if you're looking at like a casualty number, let's say the number was 100,000, you could go, let's just say it's a Russian casualty and say it's 100,000. You could go and change that and put in 50,000, literally just white it out. Think about whiteout, but on a computer, right? And you could change it to 50,000. It literally is that easy with a computer. It's really not that hard. Or you could do it in the opposite. You could take a casualty number and double it. Yeah, so that's the problem here, is that what can be trusted or can't be trusted, we don't know. We don't know how many of these documents are 100% accurate and are or are not. This is kind of the problem here. And there's really a couple different things here. Is that one, where did it come from? Did it come from a U.S. source, somebody from the inside, or did it come from a hacker and there's a vulnerability somewhere? I don't know which one would be worse. Is that somebody committed treason and there's one or maybe two people that you need to go and get and arrest them for treason and put them away for years, and then you stop the problem, at least temporarily, with those couple people, or that there's a security vulnerability somewhere and you need to go and patch that vulnerability. That's an issue also. I'm not sure which one is worse. I don't know. I can't even really decide. Um, the problem with a person is you can catch that person. Hopefully, maybe you can catch that person. If you catch that person, it's like a rodent problem, right? You could get that person, but a year or two later, you could have another rodent. Okay. With a security fix problem, you fix the security, and then that security fix is patched. It's done. You think about like if you have a phone, they do security fixes all the time, but a month later they do new security fixes. So at least they would find the security problem and patch it, and then at least that security fix is fixed. Yeah, so like you heard him say there, there's remedies to fix the problem, but there's also finding who did it and how they did it as well. Yeah. And then there's also the issues with what's going on here with Ukraine, China, and North Korea. One of the main issues that have come out of these leaked documents is that Ukraine is going to be running out of munitions in some of the categories here within the next like 30 days or so. And this has brought on new scrutiny here for the US and other countries that, again, if the data is real, that I'll show you the headline here. Yeah, dwindling weapons leaked Ukraine Russia documents raise pressures on US government here. So again, they already have this money approved, and if they're going to be running out of munitions here in 30 days, they need to get more over there right away. Quote, you can see the quote there. Yeah, they need to be getting more over there if they already have the money approved. So let me know your thoughts here. I'll keep you up to date with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. If you haven't, make sure to subscribe down below. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day on our YouTube channel. Thanks for liking and sharing these videos here as well. Here's some videos you should watch next. What House Speaker Kevin McCarthy just said is a serious warning to Americans. And the US government is banning some of your items. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.